Hi, it's me, Dave, Copper Gardens. We've shown a lot of videos in the last, I guess, a year or so now. We've been doing them frequently about the fun stages of making copper artwork, and there are a lot of them. I just thought today, while I'm in the midst of this tree project that some of you have seen before, that will be a component of the home, in the living room and dining room of a home near Sacramento, and I'm in the ugly stages. I'm in the sausage stages of how do you make these things look as good as they do when they're finished. And I realize that maybe we don't show enough of that slow, tedious, boring maybe component of what we do. And I thought that today I would take a few minutes and either bore you to tears or get you to hit the delete button, or your choice. You get to do whatever you want to do. That's the fun of YouTube and putting these things out there. But if you're one of those that's curious, I'm going to grab the camera by hand here in a minute, show you what I'm doing, show you what I'm trying to fix on a weld. I'm actually doing welding of copper rather than brazing, because in certain components of this particular piece I want the color match to be very, very precise. Brazing joints always leaves a slight different color, and if it's at a valley or a V or a branch joint where the color has some excuse to change anyway, then we can frequently get away with a color mismatch. When it's a bend right in the middle of a branch that I'll show you here with the camera in a minute, you don't get away with it quite so easily. So I'm welding it with deoxidized copper, and it never, ever, it defies coming out perfectly smooth. So I have to get in and get busy and grind and grind and grind. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that. Here is the, let's see if I can take the camera off. Here's the kind of thing I'm trying to cure. Okay, here's a weld. I've cut, I'm not focusing well, are we here? I've cut this large branch to make a bend that I want to have. I need to move this branch into a more lifelike feature rather than just straight like the one you see here. And this one too will have a couple, 3 bends in it before we're done. But this is the weld. If it looks a little ugly, well, that's about, these little cameras have no focus. I'm trying to find the best spot. There's about the best I can do. A little bit ugly, if you don't mind me saying so. And here's one in process, another similar weld. You can see that it looks very coppery. You don't see the brass silvery look at all. And then let's see if I have another one here. Here's one that ended up with several little holes in it. You could almost get away with that. Trees have holes in them. But where it's out of character, I'm going to look at ways to go back and patch up some of those. Probably not all of them, but at least some of them. So I'm going to see if I can set the camera now without shutting it off and give you an idea of what I'm doing with which tool. I use a little air grinder, just like that, that's made actually for a cutoff tool. And by all rights, you're not supposed to use it this way, but I do. I break all the rules anyway, don't I? So I use this to carefully work back and forth to keep some of the character of the tree trunk that I'm hoping to keep in place throughout the process. Then I'll come back with a more ordinary die grinder, angle grinder, this time with a sanding pad on it, and then I'll change to a softer finishing pad and get rid of all the sanding marks, and we'll end up back looking much like the tree does in the rest of it. So bear with me if you care to. Hang up if you don't care to, and I don't blame you. This is every man for himself today. Let's see, it's going to take me 1 second here to set this up, and this saves me from having to make several different passes to get it up on YouTube. So please bear with my crude situation here. Here we go. Okay, lest I lose the entire audience, that's just a few minutes on a very, very, very short area. Giving you an idea, I've got feet to go before this thing, I mean maybe 20 or 30 feet to go, doing the same kind of thing. I'm going to shift over now to the softer pad and do a little bit of finish work. So now that pad is almost finished, in just, I can probably use it another minute or two. They cost retail about $1.50. I'm able to buy them in bulk for 60 cents approximately. You go through many of these per hour, adding to the cost of the overall project. Let's see if we can look at this thing a little closer. Yeah, pretty nice look right there. By the time they're all clean, the whole piece is cleaned, and this dark looks as clean as the part I just polished, you'll see how nice this really does look. But that's about 2 inches. And how much time? It looks like I'm 8 minutes on the video right now. Probably 3 or 4 of that was just polishing this thing. It just takes a hideous amount of time, and I just thought it might be interesting to a few as to what this part of the process looked like. So I'm going to shut up for now. We'll come back and show you another update another time.